don't know. Don't know what you're seeing, my friend. Let me see. Okay. All right. We
All
are
right,
ready.
happy
Got it.
Saturday. We're going. We're live. This is it. Everybody get out that notebook and that paper, like I said. Our co-founder, CEO of this one, president of that one, CEO of the other one, the boss ladies, the large and in charge is going to share a lot of great stuff, and she's got some stuff lined up. So get ready to take notes. Happy Saturday, everybody. Tanya, can't wait.
Thank you. Thank you. What an introduction. I'm in charge. Oh, wow. Who knew? Okay, guys, today is the end of the quarter. Can you guys believe that? We are already at the end of quarter two. It's just, I don't know what this year has just flown by for me. And I say that seems like every year, but this one particularly seems on a rapid course to finish. So with that in charge, you guys, that being said, it's time to I want to go over a full assessment. I don't think I've ever done one of these. I've always done the ones where we plot out our goals for the year, but I've never really covered how to reassess and make sure you're still on the path for success for yourself. And so we're going to do that today. But yeah, you guys, this is such a great thing about goals that I can talk about this all the time. I was taught very young to set goals and how to continue on with your life and to achieve things. And here's the great thing about goals: you can change them at any time you want to. So if you're setting a goal and you realize that it doesn't meet with you, it doesn't resonate, or that you're too fat, you're too good at it, and you're working along faster than you expected, you can always shift and you can always change those. So that's what I love about them. So we're going to go on that path. But I thought before we talk about the different goals and how to do all that, I want to cover our anchor offers here with Triple R. So as many as you guys know, we have several different anchors. We obviously have our amazing PBS system. And honestly, the first person to speak about it is a great person to talk about the PBS too, because she's amazing at it. I like to call her the queen of PBS. But also we have our amazing PBS system, which of course is a great thing. It's a great way to market. It's a great way to have, it's our business site, truthfully. It's also, I think, a creative site too. It's a way to just kind of be creative and to have your own space there. So we have that, and that's our main thing here. That's how we post ads. That's how we create our own content. That's how we do everything right there. And then beside that, we have our anchors, which we're gonna just talk about again the first little bit here. Our first anchor is our amazing Velavita here that we have. The brain. If you guys haven't had one of these yet, I suggest you go grab one. They help so much. I'm finding I have re-fallen in love with this product. It's just amazing. I'm re-falling in love with it, and it's just making me have a better belief system, I guess, in the Velavita company again, reaffirming it. So grab one of those, you guys, if you haven't had one, because it will help you focus. The focusability of this is absolutely phenomenal. There's nothing like it. And I'm a little more sensitive to, I call this like a pre-workout kind of. Honestly, it's just everything. It's a focus, pre-workout. It's all that in one. And I'm a little more sensitive. So I took a calf, and then I got to where I could take a full. Now I can take a full. Now I'm up to 2 a day. And I can see where I take 6 of these a day. We literally take 6 of these a day. We go through these boxes like they're candy. So anyway, so that we're going to talk about that. We're also I'm going to have Miss Sheila Matchett, who runs Brain Food Academy. I'm going to have her speak just a few minutes just to summarize it, tell you guys what's going on there. And then I'm going to have Nell Galinsky come on and talk about our other anchor that we have there. SHG, right? That's it. Okay. I don't know why the letters are hard for me, but anyway, so we're gonna talk about those two for just a few minutes, and then I'll come back on and then we'll get started. But I'm gonna let Sheila, if you don't mind, step in and talk about. You can even say something about PBS if you want, girl, because you're amazing.
That's gonna take up all 2 hours. I love my PBS. That is my main focus. That is my go-to. If I'm not reading, I'm working in my PBS. If I'm not researching, I'm in my PBS. It is exactly what it entails. It is our bread and butter. I know there's a lot of people that just want to do link posting and stuff, but guess what? If they don't have something to come to and realize who you are and discover the person they're buying from, they're not going to buy from you. You got to develop that trust. So have your PBS. That's why it's so important when you're writing in your website that you have a story. You put that personal touch to it. If you weren't on the Thursday training and saw Darlene use ChatGPT, it was amazing. And she reiterated that use those tools that's available, but you still need that personal touch because people want to come in and relate to somebody. So your website's not going to relate to everybody. It's not going to draw everybody, but it will draw like-minded people. And that's what you want. But that doesn't mean you can't go off grid and step outside the box too. Watch those trends. If you're not personally involved with the trend, use somebody that you know. Talk about how the world is seeing things. Bring a point of view. Your website should always have a point of view, and it should always be relatable to somebody. Okay. We don't like to talk about politics, but that doesn't mean you can't. You just don't want to step on anybody else's toes and offend somebody, but that doesn't mean you can't give your own personal views. Fashion, you know, I'm a shoe guru. I collect shoes. I have close to 400 pair in my collection right now. Doesn't mean I always have an outfit to go with it. I'll buy a shoe before I buy a piece of clothes. You know, I'll find the outfit later. Get me the shoe. So I do have a huge shoe collection, and my husband's always talking about he's going to have to build a garage just for my shoes. But those are kind of things I talk about. My first page that went viral was about my shoes, and I compared the heel to the flat and the different benefits of both. And I'm still getting hundreds and hundreds of views on that page a day. And I don't even have a link to go in it, guys. That's the thing. I can go put Savings Highway Global in there now in different programs, but that page sat out there for almost 6 years now with no links in it, or very minimal links. So you don't always have to have a link to have a page out there. Okay. So you want to share when you do your PBS and you're writing those pages. If you say you don't know what to write about, look around you. I tell people, if you're still above the ground and the worms are not having a feast on you, you've got something to write about. You've had experiences. If you're a mom or an aunt or an uncle, or you've been around kids, you've got something to write about. If you've given anybody advice, you've got something to write about. If you went through a circumstance that you came out and felt better about yourself, you've got something to write about. Okay. That doesn't mean anybody else has to like it. Use it as your own personal diary if you have to. Don't always worry about what link do I need to put in it. The link should be the last thing you think about. Write the content. The content is the key. When you write that content, let it marinate a little bit. I always give my content a couple of days. I'll come back to it, and then all of a sudden say, oh, we got this program that'll go great with this. Content is the key. So like I said, I could talk about my PBS forever. I'm getting close to almost 500 pages in mine. I write in it probably at least 2 to 3 times a week. If not writing a full page, I at least do drafts. If I get ideas, I go in immediately and I'll put the idea in a page, put it in a draft. So I always have something to come back and write. When I have those days, it's like, oh, I don't know what to think. I can't think. I pull up my drafts, and then all of a sudden there's that trigger. Oh, I remember this. And then I start writing.
That's
okay.
fabulous. That's fabulous.
Yeah. Just that's what your PBS is. It's literally a notebook. Mm-hmm. Okay. It is a notebook. And if you guys have one of these, I'm telling you, you get an idea, go to your notes on your phone and say, oh, I need to write that down, and write it down. And then come back later and put it in your PBS. If you're like me, my PBS is on my phone too. I pull it up and it's like, oh, let me go ahead and write that page, or I start a draft. This can be your handy dandy tool. Guys, it's your business. If you got a smartphone, an iPhone, or whatever, mine's an iPhone. I love it. Sorry, you other people, but
Same page, Sheila. Same page.
Yeah. See, great minds think alike. That is your office. It should be with you always. You should have all your important data on there. I have my Google Drive on there, so I can put notes in there. I can pull my ads up. Shar, when we travel and go to functions, she's always driving. I'm in the passenger side posting ads because I got my Google Drive pulled up. I got my templates and I'm posting ads. I have my whole Google saved. My Chrome is there, so I can pull up my Chrome and there's all of my tabs. They pop right up just like it was on my computer. So there's all kind of things, guys. Don't shortchange yourself when you're out and about. Always be thinking as a business owner. Always be thinking outside the box. Don't waste time because you think you can't do anything. Sitting in the car line, standing in the grocery line. I've had so many people coming to me in the grocery line. What are you doing? Oh, I'm posting ads for what? Oh, let me tell you.
That's awesome. I love that.
So, but yeah, like I said, my PBS, that's my heart and my soul. If you don't have one, get with the person that invited you and they will show you how to get started. But I promise you, it's good to have that because, you know, if you're just posting links, God forbid that we lose an anchor or something happens and you got floating links out there that are dead. If you got a PBS or a website, guess what? You can always come back to that and update it and not lose your audience, not lose your market. That is the best reason to have a website. You will never lose your market if you have something that they can always return to.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
Now, brain food.
Okay. That's my other baby. Education. If y'all have been to my Wednesday to our open house, y'all have heard me get on my soapbox. The United States has fallen so bad in education compared to the other countries around the world. And Brain Food Academy is the vehicle to get us back. Like I said, we need to let people know. If you're following Facebook, I get on there every once in a while. And my feed, since I'm always promoting brain food, is everything that's popping up for education. Teachers are leaving this public school system because they're being told in the upcoming year they have to use certain pronouns. They can't teach, you know, right and wrong anymore. They have to teach in a gray area. And there's teachers that are like, no, they're not going to do that. And they're actually losing their jobs. They're having to choose between their morality, their beliefs, and having a paycheck and supporting their families. And that is not right. Brain Food Academy not only gives our teachers a way out and to be able to do what they love, but also give our children the ability to have an educated system that gives them the facts and not just an opinion based on somebody else's viewpoint. We want our children to be able to discern between what is fact and what is somebody's construed fact. What is their opinion that they're trying to pass off as a fact. We are here to make sure our children love school again. They want to be educated. They want to learn. And they want to be able to speak up. They have the ability to speak up when they don't know anything and know that asking questions is a positive, not a negative. Asking questions shows their intelligence, not their stupidity. Sitting back and not asking questions shows your stupidity. Don't do that. Don't let somebody else dictate what you want to learn and how you want to learn. Brain Food Academy is going to shut down all those barriers. We're going to give kids and teachers the ability to actually voice their opinions and to learn how to articulate their opinions without being argumentative. So put those things out there. Reach those teachers, reach those students. Like I said, parents will get their kids involved, but kids will want other kids to come with them. So market to those kids too, so that they will tell their parents, hey, I got a school. I heard this school. I ain't going to have to worry about being bullied. I don't have to worry about wearing a uniform or being dressed a certain way. I don't have to worry about being afraid of what my teacher is going to do or how I'm going to learn. I can be comfortable because I'm going to be home. All right. So don't disclose or discredit children to market to. They will get their parents involved. And once your parent is involved, then that opens up everything, because then parents are going to talk. Did your child know about this? So include the whole family, market to the whole family. If you're on social media and you go to these different groups, don't just go in there and start marketing. Actually engage in these groups and talk with them. Let them know that there's concerns out there and say, hey, you know, I've heard about this program. Let them bring it up to you. All right. You don't want to get kicked out because all you're doing is marketing. If you're joining a program, please make sure that you actively engage in it. But our Brain Food Academy, guys, it is truly the way to bring our education back up and to bring our children back to the point where they're comfortable in their own skin. And just get it out there. There's so many places that you can market it. You can put it on a community under announcements. You can put it under business, because remember, our teachers get paid really good, but they also get paid for referrals, either other teachers and students. Plus, they get paid for any material that they bring to Brain Food Academy. Parents, when they refer other parents, they can get a commission, not necessarily a commission, but they get a referral bonus that can actually drop their enrollment fees. That goes towards their enrollment fees. So you need to put those things out there, let them know, hey, we got the solution. You don't have to worry about losing your job. You can come here and be your own boss in your own teacher's role and bring your students with you, whether they're in your class or not. So get it out there, get the teachers, get on those platforms, let people know, just market everywhere. We have the solution for education.
Yes.
That's all you need to say. We have the solution for your educational needs.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
Yes, you guys, education is a huge passion for me as well. I've talked about it a couple different times, but you know, I don't know, I've seen this massive trend towards hating America, and I just don't understand it. I'm a second generation American, and I talk about that a lot, but it's just the fact that, like, my grandparents came here to America to have that American dream, and people forget that. They don't realize that that is still a thing. It's still the greatest country in the world. I don't care who you are, what country you're from. Everybody wants to come here. Everybody. And I mean, in my opinion, if you don't like it, you're welcome to leave. That's my opinion as well. So, okay, don't mean that to be offensive to anyone, but we have to get back to where we understand our history, and we can only do that through proper education. So anyway, I love Brain Food. It's a passion for Rory and I. Obviously, we jumped on board to this before, even in America. We jumped on board to do this in Australia first with one of our partners, and then we felt we wanted to bring it over here. And it just, with the 2020 issue and closing schools down, it just came right into effect and was able to happen here. And I'm really, really grateful for that. So that we have this place. And yeah, school wasn't a good place for me. So I would have loved this. You know, I'm self-taught as well. Like, I did go to a formal education, and I went to a higher education, but I also am very much self-taught, and I believe in self-taught, being self-taught and that's what I love about Brain Food, is that we have real teachers, real curriculum, but yet they still invite you to think for yourself, that critical thinking that we do not really offer anymore. So I'm super excited about that anchor. So I want you guys to think about that as we're going through goal setting, and how you guys can reiterate that into your goals to help you, let's help the next generation out, right? They're our future of America. So anyway, thank you so much, Sheila. Love it. I loved her ideas on the PBS. You guys see why I call her the queen of PBS? She's fabulous. She's got all kinds of ideas there going on. But let's have Miss Nell, as she helps run another anchor of ours. And they have a couple of different opportunities going on right now too, that I just wanted her to highlight and talk about. So thank you, Nell.
Okay. Well, right now, they have a really great promo going on for signing people up for for any of the programs. They have the gold, the titanium, and the platinum and titanium. You could pay 200% of the commission. So at whatever level you sign up. So if you sign up somebody at the gold level, instead of getting paid $20 commission, you get paid 200% on the commission. So that's really a great promo, but it's short-lived. It's only good through the end of the month. So midnight, Sunday night, it's over. So it just started on Tuesday, or well, no, Monday, the 24th. So it was just for this last week of the month. So that's what's going on right now with that. They also have a new website that's coming out. They keep saying it's coming shortly, it's coming shortly, it's coming shortly. It's not here yet, but it's supposed to make everything much more user friendly. That's one thing with their website that is has been kind of a drawback, is that their website's not really all that user friendly. It's hard to find things on there. And this new website, I've seen the promos on the new website, and it does look like it's going to be a lot more user friendly. We still have the solar power advantage to that. That's one of the ways that you can earn money, is by referring people for the solar power. The cybersecurity, I'm telling you guys, if you don't have that, if you haven't signed up for the cybersecurity program, you really need to. After my husband and I got hacked, we signed up for that, and I feel so much safer on the internet now with that. Through SHG, it's just $29.95 a month. You get a 25% discount the first month that you sign up for that. But they do a really great job of securing your finances and everything on that. And if you go through Aura to sign up, it's $50 a month. Through SHG, it's $29.95 a month. And you get a lot more advantages by going through SHG. And then we have all of the other programs, also the health insurance, the Teladoc, and all of that. So it really is a great program. And this, the special they have right now, I've made almost $1,000 this month on that. So you guys really should start promoting that. You got just a few more hours, but it's worthwhile. So get to it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Nell. Guys, we really have all these amazing opportunities to help you guys make money. And it's really, we want to have, you guys have probably seen Rory's table of marketing, right? You have all the different things to make it stable. That's why. Okay. That's why we do that, so that you guys have opportunity in different areas. And this has been a good one for us right now. It's been a great opportunity for us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
especially if you're, you don't have health insurance. The health insurance through this company is very reasonable. And the Teladoc service, I've used that several times. Every time I go to the doctor, it's $35. Through this Teladoc, you don't have to pay that $35. They call the prescription in for you, so you just have to go pick it up. So, I mean, that alone has saved me money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a great program. And for $20 a month. Yeah.
Yeah. And Rory and I have used it as well. And we like it. We've had good success with it as well. So yeah, it's a great opportunity, especially for, like she said, for those of us who are self-employed and don't have that opportunity. It's amazing to me. Rory calls them golden handcuffs, the benefits of when you work for somebody else. And insurance is one of those handcuffs that keep you there. And I don't think people realize that by just doing your own program, doing your own thing, it frees you to be able to do what you want to do. And so that's one of the things I loved about that. So thank you, Nell. Appreciate that. So again, as we are doing our goals, guys, that's why I wanted to touch base on these. We also have, a couple of other things going on, and that you guys, we always have things we can market, things we can share. And Rory's been really good about that, and always keeping his door open to different ideas. And I just think he's done a phenomenal job with that. But I would be amiss again if I didn't touch base a little bit on Bella Vita. This is our #1 anchor offer. It is what we definitely, share. And it is just our health and nutrition. And you guys, Sheila talked about the different pages. And this is one of the pages that I truthfully believe in. I love. We wouldn't do this if we didn't love and have a belief behind it, right? So you guys can always see, for those of you guys who are new here, you always see us wearing our EMF protection. And so Rory and I aren't without it. This has helped me so much with migraines, because I've suffered from those tremendously most of my life. And this has really, really helped me protect me from, because you guys, I work on a computer. We all do, right? I have a cell phone. We all those are my tools. Sheila talked about having a cell phone and keep using that as a tool. So these are my tools. It's how I work. It's how we all work. So we have those, things that are attacking us that we can't see. So I always like to joke, Sheila, I got my cross and I got my EMF protection. I got both. Okay. I'm covering both of my areas here. But, so I love this tool. This has surpassed, I think, one of my favorites, but I don't know, Brain is catching up now. I wasn't on the Brain bandwagon, I have to say, when it first came out. And my husband started taking this. And if you guys have seen his page, he's literally lost 70 pounds and he's still going. It's just like he's a different person. I can't believe it. So I'm like, okay. So finally I started taking the Brain on a regular basis. So I do challenge you guys to do this with me and be consistent and take these every day. Vela Vida used to have like those challenges. Well, I'm going to challenge you guys too. I don't know what the reward's going to be. There's going to be a prize though, but do it for 90 days and see how it makes you feel. I'm talking about Brain specifically, because to me, I think this is the one that's the best, one of the best products they have. Truthfully, and this is what started Rory's weight loss, was just this. This is before they had any other products. They just had Brain. And he lost about half of his weight just on Brain alone before he added in the other ones. He kind of got to a plateau and then he added in. That's when the Plus came in and all. Well, he was taking the Zleam too, but Plus and Zleam, all those came in, and then he kept going. But I think this was the kicker for me. This is what I was missing, because I've been taking the products consistently, and I did lose a little bit of weight, but nothing to speak of. But since I've been reintroducing this, yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it now. So it's like I take this in the morning with my coffee, and then I also take it in the mid-afternoon when you get that lull around 1:30 to 2 o'clock, when you're kind of like get that tired feeling. I rehab another one of these, and I find these also. I'm one that doesn't sleep well, and these I feel like they definitely help me. I think by the end of the day, they've kind of like wound down, and I think they have everything in one. I'm not a doctor. I will say that. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to give any claims. I'm just going to say the benefits that I have felt in my life and that I have seen personally. And the only thing I've changed has been this. So I definitely recommend it if you guys have never tried this yet, to hop on and just at least grab this product right here. It is amazing. Definitely amazing. Okay, guys. So I'm about to drop a link in the chat for all of you guys for quarter assessments. I am in the process of making this whole goal workbook for the full year, setting quarterly assessment, monthly assessments, quarterly assessments, and then end of the year assessments. And so we're going to go through I'm going to go through the process with all of you guys with this. But the quarterly assessment is something I do at the end of every quarter. And I actually just took my notebook and started writing down notes about what I do, because it's been doing this. I've been literally setting goals since I could write. So I just kind of wrote down my sorry, I just got a note thing. Okay, anyway, I just wrote down whatever I could write, and I've gone back and I've reassessed every time. And so I always like to say that goals are a living and breathing thing, because they change. They need to change and grow with you as you change and grow. So I love to talk about that. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this link. So you guys are welcome to download this paper. I'm going to go through this for the training. I'm going to share my screen. But I want you guys to have this link. But this will all be hopefully by the end of the year. The goal is by the end of the year to have a workbook for everybody to have. But let me just go ahead and share that. That is the link for the assessment, for the quarterly assessment. So I'm going to give you guys all a minute in case you guys want to download it and print it off, and you guys can go, because I'm going to go step by step through this, just like I would for if you guys have been on the yearly assessments. But the whole reason that I was covering the different topics with Brain Food and then with our other anchors, because I want you guys to, when we're setting goals for business, you need to be able to see all different areas of your life, right? To map it out. So that's one of the things I love to do at first. Is I love to do like a map, like you have got, I don't know if you guys are old like me, but you have the circle where you used to put the idea, and then you branch off and do like the little mind map of the little mapping, the little brain. I think we used to call it brainstorming back in the day. That was in the 80s. They put brainstorming and they put like little circle and you put the idea, and then you have like all your ideas off. But that's what that's what I used to do. And that's one of the key ideas for me would be like Vela Vida, Brain Food, like, Savings Highway Global. My PBS would definitely be one of them. And at baking and then off of the PBS would be content creation, and then would be posting ads. Because like Sheila mentioned that, you guys have, Rory always says 50% of your time. So whatever time you have allocated for your PBS, 50% of that time needs to be for creation, 50% for posting ads. Okay. And the great thing about the PBS is that's something that we can work on when we can't call. We can't call out and we can't do those other things, right? That's something that's always available to do. So when you're setting up your schedule, and again, maybe that should be another topic, but when you're setting up your schedule, you're making sure that you're time blocking the things that are going to make you money in those times, right? Making the best use of those hours. And so I talk about that a lot, but I can touch base on that again here. But let me open up my own link and get ready to share with you guys. So let me see. I was trying to also just share with you guys. Okay, here we go. So here, we're going to go ahead and share screen here so you guys can see. You guys can see, right? Everyone can see? Are we good?
Yes, it looks good.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So this is, I've been creating this with, my son's a graphic designer, so he's been helping me with all this. He's helping me with my book. So he's been doing all this. He's awesome. But I had this kind of a blank so that you guys could just circle whatever quarter you're on. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, you can see at the top there. And then you have the date that you did this. And this is really just meant for you guys to have a scribble page to brain dump, to put everything down. And then I told him, like, I kind of like, I call it throw up on you, because I just like word vomit all over him. I'm like, this is how I do it. Okay, go. And he just came back with me with a bunch of different ideas. But I wanted him to put at the top up here, which is why I have it up there. It's so important when you're doing this to set your environment, guys. And sometimes this can take you 30 minutes, and sometimes it can take you 3 hours. It depends on you and if you've never done this before, right? If you've never set goals before, then you are going to need more time. So you need to have an environment that's different. I say get out of your home. Rory and I used to go to a coffee shop that would play jazz, and we would go and sit there, and he would work on PBS pages, and I would be working on goal assessments or trainings or different things like that. And that's what we would do. But whatever works for you. Also, I love libraries because they're quiet, but whatever works for you, right? But I definitely recommend doing that, going someplace different and eliminating your distractions, completely turning off your phone. I know that's like a shocker for most of us here, but completely turn off your phone. You guys, the phone is an amazing tool, but it can be used for bad as well as good, just like anything. So you have to make sure you're balancing that out. But so that will help you there. And then I definitely recommend a paper and pen. Okay, there's something about putting your pen to paper and writing and just like scribbling it all out there, and before you can go. So I would definitely be taking this paper and a notebook, and then I'd just be like assessing everything. So that's what I recommend. I definitely have already talked about the brain and coffee or tea, which I like. My combination of is always iced coffee. I like my caffeine iced and with my brain, but however you guys take it. But that is definitely what I recommend, because it helps you to, especially the brain, you guys, it will help you to focus and be able to get all your thoughts out. So it's super, super important. And these are the areas I've kind of broken them down for you guys. Really, this is what we work on. This is what we do. These are the areas and this is to make you a well-rounded person, right? There's the first of the year, there's an assessment test that I have. I actually should probably send you guys the link to that. But there's an assessment test that you can do that shows you where you're weak, what area you're weak in. And that way you can work and build on that particular area that you're weak in, whatever that be. I believe you're never 100% in an area, because if you are, you're perfect, and you're not. So you always can never give yourself more than a 9 out of a 10. But there's just areas that need to be focused, right? And each year I pick a different focus that I need to focus on specifically. And I will work particularly on that focus. It doesn't mean I won't work on the other ones, because I always do. I'm always working on other areas, but it means I just work on a particular focus. That's my focus for the year. That's what I need to really, it's someplace that I'm weak in. And I feel like that it needs to happen. So these are the different areas for you guys to work in. And I can talk about all of them. Personal growth and learning, you guys, is so important to me. I do this every week. I'm doing something for this every day, to be honest, but mostly every week and when I have time set aside, all my free time goes to pretty much 2 areas well, 3 areas on here. I'm going to be honest with my free time. We'll go to personal growth and learning, spiritual growth, and my family and relationships. Those are where my free time goes, because everything else is it needs to be for work. So a lot of that's where my free time will go. It's where I choose for it to go. So if I'm not working, I'm working with, I'm reading the Bible and there and reading my sermons. Or I'm doing my personal growth and development, reading books. I've read so many books like Rory. I just read. I'm a sponge, right? And also with those two go hand in hand to me, because with spiritual growth, you're asking for personal discernment, which helps you with your personal growth, right? So your spiritual growth leads into your personal growth. Because that way you can know what's right for you, what's not right for you, because just because it's written doesn't mean it's so. So you have to have that discernment as well. And that's what you have there. And then the other time I would definitely, it's my grandchildren, my grandchildren. They're my happiness. They're my why. So those are my areas. And then I feel like the physical environment and like the health and wellness, those are things that I need to do for myself, but it's not what I will choose to do for my, for fun. Like, right. It's the other stuff that I will choose to. That's my fun. So those are the different areas. Again, today we're going to focus mostly on your work and financial. Those are the pieces of the puzzle. That's why they're opposite of each other, because these kind of go together. I think they will go together quite a bit. So anyway, work and finance is what we're going to focus on today, because we are all about that right now. So going on to the second page here, these are the different steps that I take, and I have done this for so many years, you guys, and I have reviewed my system over and over again to make it better, right? As we do things, we get better and better at it, and we review things and make things better. So the very first step for me is I always journal and brain dump the last 3 months, even just the last month, you guys, because sometimes it comes to a head and we've been like, okay, what's happened the last month? I'm going to tell you why this is so important, because if you do not see what's happened in your life, you can't change it. If you don't take responsibility for the actions or the things that have happened in your life, you can't change them. And it's really, really important that you see those. It's not about placing blame. It's not about beating yourself up. It's just about seeing even if things have happened to you that aren't necessarily your fault, that doesn't matter. What matters is how you react from them, right? So how you recover from them. Yeah, we've all had those where the hits just keep on coming and you're like, whoa, I'm going to hit here, hit here, hit here. But it's not the hits that matter. It's that you see them and that how you move through them and continue to go. Are you giving up and just quitting your life and being on a puddle on the floor? Or are you choosing steps and actions that help you to continue on? And that's really what it's all about. So that's why I think journaling and brain dumping is so important. And then once you have that out, it's kind of an opening for your mind. That's why I do it as well, because that kind of opens your brain to answer step 2's questions. So I'm going to read through these and take some time for you guys to answer them. And that's just how we're going to rock and roll today. So hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you've got your pen and paper. Oh, Niall, thank you. You got it printed. There you go. Hopefully you guys have got some pen and, oh, Angie does too. Thanks, Angie. You got some pen and paper down so that you guys can start just writing these down. Again, this is what the notebook is great for. So you guys can just kind of brain dump your whole life right now. So we're kind of skipping step 1, but please take time to do that off the training when you have some time, which I call Sunday. I think it's a fabulous day for that. So step 1, we're going to review these questions. Okay. Did I achieve the goals I set out for this quarter? And so I'm hoping you guys did the goal assessment at the beginning of the year. If you did not, that's okay. We all have ideas of what we want to achieve. Let's write them down now. Write down what they were, what you think your goals were, and then you can answer that question. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes in between questions, okay? And I'm just going to sip on my coffee. I do want to say, as you guys are doing this, though, this would be, I would do this for every area. Okay. So I just want to make sure you guys aware of that. Again, like I said, we're focusing on work and financial right now, but this, I do these step 2 for every one of those areas. So. Okay, number 2 would be, what were my biggest wins? You guys, it's really important to see our wins, not just our failures, but it's also important to see our failures because we learn from failures. So what were my biggest wins? The next question would be, what were the best decisions that I made? And again, this is pertaining to Triple R. What were the best decisions that I made this last quarter? That's basically April, May, and June, right? April, May, June is the quarter we're talking about, in case you guys don't know. And the next question is equally important, guys, is what were the decisions I need to change? And I'm going to clarify here on decisions, because decisions are also things that you choose not to do, right? If you choose to not show up for trainings, if you choose to not work on your PBS, if you choose to not post ads, those are also decisions, even though a lot of times we think of them as, oh, I just didn't get to it. Your decision to not get to it was a decision. I like to say, when you don't make the choice is made for you. That's what we're talking about here also. No, I'm apologize, you guys, if I'm going to go. I'm not trying to go too fast, but I want to cover some of these things. So we're going to go to the next one. Is, were there other memorable moments, and list them? So I'm going to give you guys examples here. Like, did I stick to my B marketing, and what were my ratios, my stats? Yeah, that's how we can check ourselves, right? Is by checking to see, okay, how much time did I admit, was I consistent? What were my stats? Also, I got a new, if you're a leader, I got a new CSI. What were your stats for that? Things that help you promote you and promote your business, that also help promote their business, right? Because we win when we help others win. So that's as well, things like that. And the next one is great. I love it because it's, what are the people, activities, habits, tasks, or projects that energize my business? I love to see that, because there's people in our business that help energize us, and there's people that don't. And it's really good to figure out who those people are so we can work with them. And the activities and habits, whatever that would be, maybe you prepped your computer to start right away. Maybe you're really good on your time blocking and you followed that through. Maybe you did a project where you did a 90-day challenge with one of the products, and maybe that helped reinvigorate your belief, because it surely did for me with my brain. That would be what I would be putting down with me. So it's really good to have those ideas. And then see, the next one is, and this is, like I said, in what ways did I self-sabotage? What ways didn't you show up for yourself, guys? And like I said, no one's going to see this but you. So be truthful. I mean, there's so many times where, you know, we get down, or maybe we had a bad call, or we had a bad moment with our family. We just kind of quit for the day. Like, those are called self-sabotaging, not showing up for yourself, not being consistent. It's that consistency that's going to help you win. So, and the next question goes right with that. In what ways did I overcome the resistance and escape the comfort zone? Self-sabotaging comfort zone. Like, you get home from work and you just want to kick off your shoes, listen to some jazz, and have a glass of wine. That would be my comfort zone, right? That's my comfort zone. But like, what ways did you escape that when it was pulling you in, and you knew you needed to focus on work? You knew you needed to get going. Men are not made to be in a comfort zone, guys. We are meant to challenge ourselves. We're meant to push ourselves out of it. We're meant to continually grow and progress. That's what makes us different than animals. That's what makes us different. That's why we're humans. And so we're meant to have that ability. And the next question is, which skill or significant new knowledge did I acquire? What have you been learning and growing and pushing yourself through? Rory and I have been trying to do this with the Tuesday calls with helping with personal development. I don't know if you guys have seen that trend. That's kind of the trend that's going up. It's for help you with your business mindset. How many of you guys are showing up on that millionaire call? That would be amazing for you. Supposed to help you talk to Rory is basically being your mentor, right? To help keep you guys aware of what your progress is. So you guys have to report to him. And that is super important to have that mentor in life. And he's trying to be that for anybody who wants to show up for themselves. Because every single time people here don't succeed is because they didn't do what they needed to do. And they let their comfort zone, if they will, get in the way. So which skills or significant new knowledge did I acquire? And that in place with that goes, what lessons did I learn from this, whatever path that is, for what the new skills, whatever comes to your mind, just go. It's not that deep, I promise. Just whatever, go, put it down. And then the last thing that goes with it, I think, is what was the biggest thing holding me back? Yes, a lot of people are afraid of failure, so they don't start, and they don't realize that not starting is failing. When you don't start, you're failing because you're not doing anything, right? Or they're afraid to not know all the answers. Again, it's okay. You learn those along the way. But what's holding you back? At this point, you guys, is where you guys can see, I have the little note down here that says, now I want you to step outside yourself and be your own life coach. And tasked with the aim of helping you become a better version of yourself. Okay, you're not here to beat yourself down. You're just going to be like, as if I was talking to you and you told me I have this and this and this and this and this. Okay, how can I overcome whatever I did to stop me from achieving my goal if I didn't achieve it? If you did achieve it, perfect, then we're going to get ready to set new goals. And then with that version, what objective feedback would you provide based upon the last 3 months? So objective, meaning that you can grow from it, right? Again, you guys, we have that mentality to like tear ourselves down. So I wanted to make sure this is only done in love for yourself. Okay, ready for step 3? Here's areas to review. So these are our areas, and I'm going to stop sharing because I'm going to share with you guys the other link for the first of the year in case you guys didn't get that. And I want to show you guys how we can assess ourselves. So I have let me share that with you guys. Let me grab it. Where would it be? Here is where it would be. You get I'm going to share this link. Okay, here is the life assessment map that I do at the beginning of the year. That's the other link if you guys want that one. And I'm going to open it and share it with you guys as well online. But the reason I share this is because I do this at the beginning of the year, but I also reassess my goals every single year. Like every single quarter, I go back and redo the little test with each area of the goals so that I know where I'm at and if I need to, change things. So I'm going to share this with you guys really quickly. Again, then we'll go back to the quarter. But when I say like reassess your goals, this is what I'm talking about. This is where we go through and we score ourselves. We have that test that we take that we score ourselves. So you're going to redo this every quarter with your goals, right? So that you can see maybe you started on a path and you've surpassed what you thought you were. So that now you need to switch, and your focus that you thought was what you needed to focus on, you've done so well on it that now you need to switch your focus to another area. So that's what I have here. This is the assessment scoring and the different questions. I've gone through these several different times, so I'm not going to go through them here, but this is what it is. I just wanted you guys to have that access to this. This will all be in the workbook that I'm doing for you guys. So that'll be there. But let me go back to our quarterly assessment and I'll share that. Back to sharing that. Here we go. So when we're on this page here, we get back to step 3, areas to review. That's what I'm talking about. We're reviewing those areas again to see where we need to refocus, right? Because it is definitely, you guys, like I said, these are living and breathing because you are living and breathing and they work with you. So they're going to have to change and pivot. And here's what I'm going to say, you guys, about goals. They have changed my life to so much success. I would write goals at the beginning and not really follow through. I didn't understand. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that by following through, it's made me a completely different person. I'm so much happier. I also have less anxiety, less fear because I know I have control over what I do. The only thing we have control over is what we do in life, right? And I can focus on these areas and it gives me joy. It gives me a sense of direction and purpose. And that's what we're meant to do. So as we reassess ourselves there, then we would go on to step 4, and we're going to rewrite our goals here. And these are just things I've broken down for you guys to see. I have step 4 and step 5 here. So I always rewrite my goals. And then I will break down my goals by monthly, by weekly, and then by daily tasks. And sometimes there's not daily habits for every single goal, but there's at least weekly habits for every single goal. Right? And the power of goals is so important. I cannot state it enough. You become just a completely different person. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna pause for just 1 second. Sorry, my husband called. He landed safe on his plane. We're good. Priorities, my friends. Had to make sure everything was okay. But here we go. So this is the things that when you're going to go through the steps, step 4, what are the possible things that I can do this upcoming quarter? And again, you guys, this is for Triple R. This is for what are the tasks that you need to do. And I'm going to go through those tasks in case you guys don't know. It's one of the reasons why we hit on the Savings Highway Global, we hit on Brain Food, we hit on our PBS, we hit on Bella Vita. Those are the tasks that are allocated for you guys for success here. And what is an action item to get that? It's called V-marketing. And we get to share that in the next, not this hour, but the next hour, we get to share that. So that's one of the things there. So that's what areas you want to focus on. And then you're going to write down your goal. And then if you're only going to achieve one, so this is what I say is there's only when I take an area to focus on. So if I could only achieve one, which would it be? So when you're doing your goals, what area are you weakest in? What do you need to focus on? And that's where I'm going to pick it. And then if you want to have a theme for the upcoming quarter, you can. It's just kind of fun sometimes. Sometimes you don't have to worry about that, but that's just more of a fun thing. And then lastly, here's your breakdown, like I was saying, monthly, weekly, and daily actions, steps. So I'm going to stop sharing for that for just a moment so I can talk with you guys all. So I hope you guys understand, like, it's so important to do goals, because if you do not have goals, you don't know where you're going. You can never see your success. And I feel like you backslide in your life. And it doesn't have to be like, if you want to start small, fine. But I think it's good to have goals that are bigger, right? And even if you, so you have this huge goal and you start on it and 90 days into it, you realize, okay, I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to hit that this year, but maybe next year you will. But you've already started and you have so much progress and so much momentum in that area already. So it's so important to just start, think big, push yourself out there. You guys have heard of that saying before, that if you aim for the moon and you land among the stars. It's the same similar thing, but except for you have a course, right? You have a course map. Your goals are your course map. So as you're reassessing all of your goals and as you're doing all that, it will help you guys to see like where you need to focus. So I'm going to talk about some key points here for success with Triple R. because that's obviously what we're focusing on here. And I might have to pull in a few of our instructors here just to talk about this, because you guys, we can say till we're blue in the face, but I want you guys to hear it. And it's going to, one of these days, it's going to hit that you guys and you're going to hear it. And that's why we keep reiterating the same thing, because you guys need to hear it, because showing up for yourself and being consistent, consistency is the key to winning anything. All right. And it's to pushing yourself. So I like ratios. I like stats, because when I know that, I know what I can achieve, right? When you start here and you start doing your outbound calls or you're doing inbound calls, you need to keep your stats. How many people am I talking to? How many no's, how many yeses? And the only reason why you're doing this is because as you get better, you're going to see a trend with it. Okay. And it really is the way we communicate with people, right? It's talking to people and sharing our experience with people. It's sharing our story and listening. And that's really what it's all about. Everybody in America, I believe, everybody needs a different path than what's happening right now. This is the path that can help. Can you imagine if we all helped 10 people and they helped 10 people and they helped 10 people, how much financial freedom and time freedom at the end of it would happen? And so that's the path here. That's the goal that Rory and I had when we started all this, was just to really help change your life. And there is a direction to it. And that's what we're talking about here, is just the way that we do it. So number one, if you are brand new here, would be your PBS. You need to get your PBS. And I'm just talking about just the anchor pages, at least for now. All right. You heard Sheila talk about she can always has ideas. So have your idea list going, but you need to have your anchor pages so that those are your business pages. That's how you get going. That's how you get off the pot. I like to say, you just get going. And so that's what you need, your PBS and your anchor pages. Those would be number one. Next would be your V marketing, right? Have you signed up in your anchors and your V marketing? Because that is the action item to create funds. So if you want to create money, you have to do the steps that create money, right? And that is what that is. That's the way to do it. And again, keep your stats, you guys. You're going to get better, right? A mentor told me once, if you can get 9 out of 10 and I can only get 1 out of 10, I will beat you every day of the week, because I know I have to just work harder and show up for myself more, and I'm going to beat you because you know your stat. So that's why it's so important to do it. And it doesn't matter if you get 1 out of 10. What matters is that you continue and you're consistent. And that's what we talk about with filling your pipeline. Filling your pipeline takes consistency. It takes 90 days. I tell everybody in sales, it takes 90 days of consistency. Are you working 40 hours a week if you're full-time here? Are you? Are you doing the action items that need to be done? Yes, we have meetings and all that. I'm not talking about that. That's extra. I'm talking about working for yourself. Are you showing up for yourself? Are you doing what you need to do? Are you doing the V marketing? Are you doing are you on Goya, and are you being consistent? And you cannot use that as a fallback if you're on Goya, you guys. You can still be doing outbounds and text messaging right now while the phones are slow. You know, they're slower right this very moment. July always is. The end of June and July. That just is the way it is. But we still need you to show up though for us, for Goya, and be ready to take it. But and also, you guys, this is crazy to me. When your phone rings, do you pick it up? When I was told that this is happening, I was like, what? Your phone rings and like, oh, I'm not going to get it. No, the way the phones are now, when your phone's ringing, that's for you, honey. No one else is getting that ring. So you need to pick up the phone. You need to share that experience, that love with other people, and share that your belief system. And truthfully, that's all this is about. It's just your belief system showing up for yourself. So are you doing those action items? I always say, fill up your schedule, do the BRTs until your schedule is too full, and then still continue to do it. Because what happens is we get in this path of success where we sign up a bunch of people and then we have nobody else to call, right? So you still need to continually be filling your pipeline. So you always have to be doing some type of V marketing, some type of marketing. And I want to hit on this as well, because I think people are overlooking this key point. So I'm going to talk about this. Yes, Rory and I have given you this amazing gift of leads, right? You guys aren't paying a dime for these things, but they are valuable and they are for you. So we want you to work them to their fullest potential. We don't want you to step over each other, work the list that you're supposed to list. If it is new leads and you're not supposed to be working them, please make sure you're following the rules there, because that's important. But you also have another market for leads. It's called your outside audience. I want to talk about this because it's so important. Rory made these business cards. It says free gift for you, and he's been handing it out, and it's his story. You guys, he has created literally hundreds of leads from just that. From just that. It's crazy. And yesterday, yes, we had a couple of hours of grandchildren time, and we took him to a park for just a few hours for a break, and he handed out like 50 of them, and everybody was super happy to get them. They were very excited, and he got more leads from that yesterday. So if you're just sharing your story and putting on that card, and it goes right to his page where he talks about his weight loss, just share your story. You'll be surprised who you find out. And I think you guys are forgetting that it's not really your warm market, but it's your community market. And you guys, you're missing that key as well, right? Because if you can bring people that way, you can also, guess what? We have an opportunity for them with Velavita to just do the Velavita. But then you also have brain food. And we have the opportunity there for brain food and for education. So we have that as well. And then if they come in, they can also go to the PBS. They can do the PBS. They can do the whole thing. They can come into our community that way. So there's several ways for you to succeed. And if you don't want to do the phones, that's fine. You also have this other option. So the phones are just there for you. We've got the leads for you to work. We would love you to work them. Oh, we would love it. If everybody here, 300 people, everybody used it the way that it's intended, we would be a phenomenal success. So there's different ways to do it, but you have to do the action items that bring money in, and that's it. And if you're only posting ads, that's fine. Then what are you doing? Your schedule should be content post. That's what it should be doing if you're just doing that. But if you're an instructor here and you were here for the long haul to win and succeed on the anchor offers, what are you doing on those anchor offers? Nell just told you an amazing opportunity for the next 2 days. I'd be hitting people up with that. I'd be all over that like jam on hot toast. Seriously. So, I mean, that's just phenomenal. I'm going to go talk to some people that I have that were on the fence about that as soon as we get off the calls. So we have that. It's an amazing opportunity. Also, we're gearing up for this next school system. I've been talking to parents, but I didn't think about talking to some of the older kids. So I'm going to do that now because they give us that great opportunity with that. And if you are passionate about something, it makes it easier to talk about. So because I have a passion for our community here, it's easier for me to talk about because I'm excited about it. I genuinely love our leadership here, like my family, and I want their success. So it's easy for me to talk about the amazing leaders we have here, amazing community we have here, and to just continue to grow. So those are the action items that you guys need to think about when you're doing your goals, when you're on that path for your goals. Am I doing those action items? Am I filling up my schedule? And then once you have your schedule filled up with all your BRTs, your session 1, session 2s, making sure you always have time. You always need to have time for remarketing. But then I would dial it back to 2 hours instead of 4. But I would always at least do 4 hours. And if you don't have any sessions, then dial up to 6, guys. Why not? Why not do that? Why not do them? What's making you money? I would literally, you guys, when life hits us, because it hits us too, we're gonna go to the phones. We do exactly what we tell you to do. We go to the phones and we start calling out and doing our feed marketing and doing the things that we need to do to fill up our schedules. So, it's the same thing for you guys. So when we're telling you guys, when you're doing your goals that way, are you enrolled in your anchor offers? Do you have your pages and your links for those? Are you sharing the experience by posting ads, by doing your remarketing? Are you doing those? Those are the key steps, right? That are going to help you. Are you showing up for the trainings where we help you? I mean, we have way more people than who's on this call, So are you guys showing up for those? Are you showing up for the things that you need to? I would definitely say, I always say our Tuesdays and our Saturday calls are the top important calls. If you can only make those, only make those. But we have our Wednesday call with this brain food open house. We have our Thursdays, which is back to our triple R. If you guys need help with your pages, want ideas, inspiration, we have our leadership, and we're reaching down, not just our MSIs, we have our PSIs and GSIs also helping with that. And I'm excited to have some fresh teaching in there too, so you guys can have new eyes as well on what's working for them, what direction they're going. So we have that as well. And then every MSI holds a study hall, every single one. Even Rory holds one. So are you guys linking into what's going to help you guys succeed? And now here's what I want you guys to write as a goal. Okay, this is so important. All right, don't just show up for the training, actually do what you're supposed to do. Okay, we have people that show up every training, and I love you, God bless you, but you're not doing the things that you need to do for success, right? So don't just show up for the training, show up, but be prepared to do whatever they put. Challenge yourself. I'm going to show up for this training and I'm going to do what they suggest, whatever they say, whatever they talk about. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to focus on that. So if you're showing up for Thursdays with the different ideas, Sheila mentioned it with Darlene and ChatGPT. Did you do a page like that? Did you do what she offered, what she said? If you're showing up for the Brain Fit Academy, which you should be, how many people did you reach out to this week? Set a goal for that. Are you showing up for the Tuesday calls where we talk about different personal development, different focus? Are you working on that particular area? Have you broken down where you're lacking in that area so that you can move and grow and improve? And then whenever Rory shows you mostly on Saturdays, are you doing that? And then we have our amazing V marketing, which is after this. Are you guys set up for success now and doing that? Because let me tell you, even if you feel like you're not ready, doing nothing's getting you nothing. So you got to do something to get something. So setting yourself up for those trainings, whatever the training is on, challenge yourself to do it. That should be a goal. And that way you guys will see improvement, not just in your work, but also in your life. You become a different person. You know, it's amazing. I was talking about this with Rory the other day, is that I have been on a path, Rory and I have been on this path of personal development, personal growth and development, and spiritual development, which to me, they go like this. And that is, over the years, we've lost friends. And not that we've lost them on purpose. It's just that we've kind of drifted apart because they weren't growing. They didn't want to change. They were set in their mindset, and they were so negative, and that's just not healthy to be around. And I'm not saying to cut people out of your life, but I'm saying limit that. You don't need that rubbing off on you. How many of you guys have talked to somebody, a friend or a family member, and they're so negative in their life, and then you get off the phone and you're like, wow, that was horrible. I feel absolutely horrible now. That's what I'm talking about. And that sets you back, takes your day away. Sometimes it takes longer than that, depending on you and how you learn to recover. And so have that goal. Also have a goal to, when you have a bad day, you have to have a trigger to RRR, whatever that is. For me, it's going for a walk. I like to go for a walk. Or when I start to get really sad, I start to list my gratitude. I count my blessings, start counting all my blessings, all things I'm thankful for. But whatever works for you to help you reset, to focus, to get you shifted back on the path for winning for you. We're not meant to wallow in despair. That's not, men are that they might have joy, right? We're joyful. We're meant to be that way. So just let's make sure you have your list, whatever it is. If you need to up, that was a terrible call I just had with my brother, uncle, family, whatever friend. I need to reduce something real quick. So sunshine always helps for me. Gratitude always helps for me, but whatever works for you, whatever that is, if it works for you. My son gets up and does sit-ups and push-ups. I watch him. He does physical activity. He's up there crunching. I'm going like, wow, you go, buddy. Not me. I'm not there yet. But yeah, he's just knocking him out, trying to get that out of his system. So just so important that you guys please make sure that all the training that we have here, and we have so much because we have this amazing community for you guys, that you're putting it actually to work, right? Challenge yourself to bring people to the calls too. Like we have the Velveeta call on Mondays. Are you bringing new people in? And are you bringing people to the Tuesday call? Are you talking to them afterwards? If you're a leader, are you talking to them afterwards? What did you think of that? How do you think we can process that? Maybe as a leader, you should do a training, a study hall. Hey, we talked about this. We're going to do a page on this. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas here for you guys, for your success. Right. So you guys can take whatever I'm saying and switch it and move it for you. But there's different ways to make sure that you're taking advantage of the different things you're learning and the different growth and development that you're learning. So challenge yourself to personally grow, to make sure that you're touching in and that you're actually listening to the things that are being said, and that you are changing your lifestyle around that. So always, whenever you have a seminar, or you have that great thing, you get so energized and you're so excited about it, and then you like dwindle off. But if you fully engage into it, and if you realize, okay, all right, Tanya talked about leadership. I'm gonna make goals for leadership, and I'm gonna actively make those steps to do it. You will not dwindle off. You will keep that fire going, and you will keep that consistency going. And that's what you guys need for that success that's happening in your life. So definitely recommend that. Also, when we're talking about goals, and we're talking about goals here, You guys, every single event we have in person, you need to meet, you need to go to. We've limited our, we've limited our events, so there's not as many anymore. But we have one that's coming up in October, November. You need to make that a priority to come. I mean, this is an investment in your business. I call it office time, you guys, because we work behind a desk. That's the time that's an office time that you need to be go and you need to be aware of. That one will be in Dallas. So there's lots of good flights there. As soon as we have the date, we will let you know. But you know, it's really important that you make those a priority, every single one of them. Especially when Roy and I will do a just the triple R meetings. We're planning one out now. Make sure that's a priority for you guys. That's the one-on-one time that you get for business building. And it helps, it really does. You guys, you see huge growth and potential from that. So we always try to link our events on with, you know, Bella Vita events. So make sure you're aware of that. Make sure that you know you're in the know, you know what's going on, and make it a priority to get there. And if you do not have the money to get there, then make the money to get there. Do the steps that you need to do to get there. It is an investment in your business, 100%. It will take you on a path of success. So that's really, really important. And that's why I wanted to share that, because that's always been a goal for Rory and I, even when we didn't have the money to go to things. Well, I guess we were never together. But when I didn't have the money to go to things, I made sure that even if I had to have a peanut butter by the spoonful for my week to save that money, to buy that ticket or to get the gas, whatever I needed, I did that. I made sacrifices to go because it was important to me, and it re-energized my business. And I saw growth from that because I was energized, and then I was sharing that experience with others. Because people really love your energy. That's what they buy into, is they want to work with you because of your passion, your energy, and you're going to find like-minded people. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is making sure that I think I'm going to talk about this coming up here very soon on a Tuesday, but you need to make sure that you're linking in with you're understanding people and where they come from. So when you're talking and communicating with them, if they're not the same as you, it's okay. Finding that out and being able to relate with them on a certain way, it's only going to bring your group, and it's going to make it stronger. So we have all different kinds of, and there's several different assessment tests for your personality type, for whoever you are. I think there's multiple good ones out there. But you know, if you are in certain categories and that's your strong suits, when you're bringing people in that have other strong suits, it just makes your team stronger, right? But you need to know where they're coming from, what their experience is, in order for you to connect with them, because we only work with people that we connect with, period. So we just need to make sure that we're understanding them and we're able to connect with them and move forward. That's really, really important. Other than that, you guys, make sure that you are having a goal for your personal health, your health and wellness, because that leads on to you being able to work, right? Everything affects that. You need to take care of your body so that you can make sure you can focus and work to achieve the financial gains that you want to achieve, financial freedom. When you get time freedom, it is such an amazing thing. When you get to choose every day you wake up what you do with your life, it is so amazing. And it's a blessing. And at that point, you get to choose more about what direction you want to go with your life. And you know, it's amazing. You hear these people say, "Oh, when I make $1 million, I'm not going to work a day in my life." Well, maybe that's why you haven't made $1 million, because that's not what we're meant to do. We're meant to continue to give back. That's what Rory and I do. We continue to give back. We want to help share this experience with others. So think about that. What's that going to look like for you? Maybe you can just take more vacations, though. Maybe you can have more family time. Maybe you're allowed to, maybe you can take off more time here and there, or actually your whole focus will shift and you'll be able to work in a different area and do things differently. And that's an amazing thing too. So just make sure that you're taking care of your physical health as well. I tell everybody I have an AM routine and a PM routine. And my AM routine is walking in the mornings. That's part of it. I read something every morning and I walk every morning because I'm making sure I'm engaging both of those. So just make sure you guys are focusing on that, because that helps set you up for a successful day as well. You know, you get those, I don't know about you, but I get those endorphins from walking, and it just makes me feel so good. So make sure you're doing something, and if you're not able to walk and not able to do much, make sure maybe just take your dog for a walk around the block. you know, just get out of the house for a second in the morning before, we call it before God turns the oven on here in Florida, because God turns that oven on full switch here in Florida. So we're like, we're going to go like, you know, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning when it's still nice outside. So, or if it snows where you live, maybe you can walk in the afternoon when the sun's out. Where I used to live where it snowed, I would put my jacket on, my beanie on, and go out in that afternoon after lunch and go get some steps. So whatever works for you, but just time that time available for you so you can make the most out of your day. Now I'm just going to hit on the other goals, because the other areas of goals, because I feel like I would be amiss if I didn't at least hit on some other things. So the other areas that I talked about there is your reset, refocus, recommit. And I really call that your RRR time. Like you're like, okay, I'm going to work extra hard. I'm going to push myself this month. And at the end of that month, what's my reward to myself? Whatever that is. For me, maybe it's a day at the beach. Maybe it's a shopping spree. I like those. Maybe it's a facial. I don't know. You know, whatever works for you, whatever that is. But set yourself up. Maybe you take a quick weekend trip at the end of the quarter. I used to do those. I used to do like little trips here and there to reward myself. I worked like over 60 hours a week in finance. At the end of a quarter, I would always give myself a quick little trip in a new handbag. So whatever it is for you guys, right? I worked a lot of hours, so that was something I really, really enjoyed. But the other thing is family and relationships. That's another area that we've talked about. There's another area for section. Another section for goals. So this one's very personal, because there's some family that you really shouldn't have in your life. And there's some family that, you know, you want to develop a better habit with, or they don't want to be in your life, but you want to be in theirs. So make yourself the person that they want in their life, in a good way. I mean, only in a good way. Become a better person for yourself, and you'll be surprised at who comes back into your life. So when you're working on your personal growth and personal development, that affects that as well. But I always set aside time every week to talk to my father. He's aging. Don't know how much longer I'm going to have for him. And I love him very much, very grateful to him. So I always have that time to talk with my father. And then I have some siblings I reach out with, a couple of siblings I'm very, very close with. So I reach out with, you know, like my sister just had a surgery on her knee replacement. So I've been reaching out and talking to her, checking in and see how she's doing, keeping that relationship healthy, because it works both ways. But also I have to say, you have to put forth the effort you want back, right? So if you want the effort put towards you, you have to put it forth to them. So if you have friends and that are family and you want to reach out with them, that you have that reach out time with them. And then I have my kids and my grandchildren. I really make sure that I want time with my grandchildren every week. So I'm making sure that I get that in there as well. That's really important to me. But whatever works for you guys, whatever your goals are in that area, it's as simple as I used to send a card here and there to my nieces and nephews. You know, once a month, I'd send a cute little card saying that Aunt Tanya loves you. Hope you're doing well. And that would get letters back. It was so cute. But it was just something to know, because I've always lived very far away from all my family members. So I wanted their kids to know I was invested in their life. So whatever, just simple ideas like that. Physical environment. I think that's the last one. I think I've touched on everything else. Okay. I am a clean freak. I'm OCD and I am a clean freak. And I cannot focus if things are not clean. That's me. You guys can go to any of my room. I'm in a hotel now. Look how clean it is. There's nothing amiss over here, because I cannot focus. I cannot think if it's a mess. But that's me. But I also had a military father who, you know, would do the clean test with the white glove. Anyone knows what I'm talking about? Knows what I'm talking about. Check the corners, bouncing the quarter. Yeah, that was a thing growing up for me. But I found as a young child that if I got everything clean, I could go out and do what I wanted to do. But those habits have helped me. And you guys, I come from a family. My parents had 10 children. Okay. So I had a large group family that could have been a super mess, but it was never that way. We all had jobs, we all had priorities, and we shifted them. And it was very, very clean in my home. That skill came in very handy when I just went from 3 children to 7 like this, and have taken those skills that I learned as a child and, you know, working them in my own home. And my home was never a mess. It just wasn't. It was not expected. Yeah, there'll be toys and things like that out, but it was always tidy before bed and everything was put away. And anyone who's visited my home when I had small children knows that I'm telling the truth. And it wasn't something I harped on. It was just something that was continually encouraged. And if they wanted to play something new, we're putting this away. It's skills that you teach your children. And I promise you that that follows through. And it's skills you even teach your adult children sometimes. Sometimes they didn't get the hint and you have to correct them. Oh, I see that you've had a really good party in here. Let me help you clean it. My kids take it pretty good, I think. But yeah, so even though it's taught doesn't always mean that it follows through, but it's just about developing those skills. I found that instead of like throwing, like, you have some garbage and you just set it aside for a moment, getting up and taking care of it as soon as you can, like that's important. Maybe to put a trash can by your desk if you can't get up, just having little tips and tricks that help you to keep it clean. I'm also going to say this from a place of love because I gave away everything. Okay. You guys don't know our story. I'm going to tell you. My husband had this crazy idea to live in resorts and God bless him. So we were doing it his way for a little bit, but doesn't mean I didn't have a full home full of things. And I did. And so the first little bit, I did condense down and I put things in a storage unit. It was packed, but I had a storage unit of things I couldn't get rid of. And then living on the road for 9 months, I decided I could get rid of them. And so I did. So I literally we have like 10 bins of things that I keep in my kids' garage. 5 is for me and 5 is for Rory. And they are literally things that they're sentimental to me. So like photographs. I have like my mother's and my grandmother's recipe boxes with their handwriting. Those are things that I cherish. I also have like a hat box of my great grandmother's when she came to America. Not my great grandmother, my grandmother, when she came to America, she brought a hat box of her grandmother's, right? So it's like, it's very important to me. That made the trip across the ocean. So I kept things like that. And there's a couple pieces of furniture that are from my other grandparents that I kept as well. My Italian grandmother, I have her rosary and her shawl, her prayer shawl. So things like that are very important. So just a few things like that. That's literally what I have saved. Also, cute little side note, I saved the little ornaments my kids made me in school. Remember those little Christmas ornaments? I have one bag for each of the 7 that I've kept their little ornaments in. Oh, I don't know why. They're never going to want them, but I couldn't bear to get rid of them. So I still have those. But anyway, just a few things like that. And when you start to free yourself and you don't have that anymore, when you don't have things, it's so much more freeing. So if you guys are a pack rat, I'm going to be with love. Challenge yourself to take one room a month and just gut it. And if you guys have ever moved recently, then you know what I'm talking about, because you have to kind of go through and like get rid of stuff. But if you're not moving, it doesn't matter. Just treat your lifestyle that way. Clean it out, right? Positivity is hard. It cannot dwell in dirty. And so you need to clean it out, throw things away and get rid of everything. I know Nell just moved, so she probably already went through this process because she just moved. She was telling me about it. So she probably had to get rid of everything and like kind of get down to what she wants. I mean, and Angie says, I think Angie, did you move, Angie, or are you moving now? Oh yeah, see, she's going through it too. So it's really a great way to get rid of the things that you're holding on to. As I say, either you own stuff or stuff owns you, and I can honestly say I own things, not they don't own me, because I live out of 2 suitcases. That's it. Niall can attest to it. He's seen it many times. He's seen it many times. So it's literally what I do. I just rotate. If I buy something and bring it in, I'm getting rid of something, right? It has to fit in 2 suitcases, guys. If it doesn't fit, it's got to go somewhere. So anyway, it's just really important. I'm not saying you have to be that severe. I'm not saying that, but just make sure that if you're holding on to something, you're holding on to it for a good reason. And it's think of it as if I have something in this space, I'm taking something out of the space. So when you bring new things in, you're constantly cycling that. So you don't have that huge clash. Also, you guys, because we work from home, your office should be your number one thing. Your office should be super clean, super tidy, super clean. Just so you could have that positive energy in there. Maybe have pictures of things that you love. Maybe have your vision board up, but have things that get you going, to keep you motivated. And having it tidy is very important. Also, when we're on camera, right? So what is around us, people look, they care about that. They're checking you out, right? When they're wanting to invest in you and they come on the calls, and every instructor should have their cameras on, by the way. But when they come into these calls and they're checking you out, they're looking, trust me. I've had so many people pin my picture and I've seen it like on social media. I'm like, what the heck, man? You're like, ooh, a little creepy there, but they do it. They like pin your picture, will like look in the background, what's going on there? And that's how they rock and roll. So it's okay. You can do it to me, but it's funny to me, but they want to know who you are because they don't know if they want to invest in you yet. They don't know how fully they want to commit, right? So they're checking you out. So just make sure that you're selling yourself, you're marketing yourself. That's why every instructor should always have their camera on so that they can meet their new students, can see them, they can connect with them. That's why I always will push that out. So maybe, and if you don't feel comfortable having your camera on, then maybe make that a goal to have your camera on. Because again, we sell ourselves. It's so important that we have that ability to be out there and to see each other. So anyway, I think that was the last category. We had the finances, and that kind of goes with work. But honestly, you guys, I'm not a debt collector or one of those people that can help you consolidate your funds. But I will say, just start paying things off. Don't owe people money. I take the smallest bill, pay it off, take that payment to the next smallest bill, start paying that off, take that payment to the next, and just see how long you can go and how fast you can quickly pay that off. If you have more money to allocate towards it, great, but you want to lower your overhead as much as you can. That's why Rory and I worked really hard to make sure that overhead here, you're not going to be able to go in business for yourself anything less than what we have here. So that's why we've worked really hard on that. Make sure you guys are doing that too. Just look at your finances, what you absolutely need, what you not absolutely need. Start paying things off one at a time. Just boom, 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 boom. Once you get one paid off, take that payment that you were paying towards that to pay it off and use it to the next one. And that's always done me well. And make sure you guys have a healthy relationship with money, because money will find you. And I have found it especially in this industry, where the poor and poor people get this, they work hard, get this amazing money, and then they lose it again because they don't know how to control it. They start spending it. I like to say new money announces itself, where old money is stated and you don't see it as well. So new money, people go buy flashy cars, flashy clothes, all these accessories, okay, which isn't bad. It's do what you want to do, but it also goes like this, that way. But when you see someone who's had money for a while and how do they live? Most people live humbly. They don't really live. Have you seen the book, The Millionaire Next Door? That's really my mentality as well. Like, people don't need to know your business. And two, you don't need to live like that. You need to live where you can make sure that you're covering everything within your budget. So live the way that you would want to live for the rest of your life, right? It's okay to buy new things here and there, but you don't need to go so extensively and so lavishly. So many people, I've seen them buy like these huge houses, and then when they stopped working because they went to management mode, and you have to always be reinvesting in your team. Once you become to a certain level, you still have to reinvest, right? It doesn't mean you have to be recruiting all the time, but you still have to be touching base, reinvesting, training, doing all the things. But they went and buy a flashy new car or like 5 cars and a huge home. And then they lost their income, and they lost their house, they lost their cars, they lost everything. So it's really about having a healthy relationship with your finances as well. It's super, super important. So anyway, guys, I hope that this helped you guys. Maybe gave you some ideas, maybe a new direction for yourself for the next quarter. So you have today and tomorrow to kind of reset your goals for the next quarter. If you guys find these helpful, we can do at the end of every quarter. So it's up to you guys. So and with that being said, I am going to stop the share because we stop our live stream. If you guys are on the live stream and you miss the training, that's another thing. You guys probably try to make the live trainings unless you can't. But we're going to go over a couple of things that we can't put online. So, and we'll have V marketing in the 30 minutes, but before that, we're going to do a couple other things.